Hi, it's Paula from Paula Quilting. Welcome back to my channel. I was recently looking for something and I've stumbled across a bag with some scraps I caught long time ago, and I thought it's maybe a time to use them up. So where they came from, I was cutting my coat out of the quilt, and I had some obviously scraps left because you cut the shapes from the quilt. So it was big piece and I've decided to use it somehow. I did make myself some templates out of the carton board. I drew the shape on that piece, and then I drew up a shape with the pen and I stitched it around. I did leave in between each of those shapes a little bit of space, and I used my pinking shears to cut them out with a little bit of kind of allowance here between that stitch all around and the edge. This stitch was basically so the layers don't kind of come apart, because as you can see there was just a little bit of quilting on this part, little bit of quilting on that part. So if I have just cut them out, some of those pieces could have come undone. So that's why I stitched it all around that perimeter. So I stumbled across this bag. So I've got three shapes here, kind of big leaves. I don't even remember how I was planning to use them up. I think I wanted to make some sort of shape of the flower. I've got circles and some small leaves. Now I did my last tutorial, and as you can remember, there was in that final layout there was quite a lot of those empty squares, and I just actually thought maybe I should use those scraps here to make those flower-ish shapes. And what I like about it, because it's proper quilted kind of piece, so you've got top, and I actually had two layers of fleece here because that's what I used for my jacket, but normally you would have a top, bottom and some sort of batting inside. So if I use that to make kind of an applique, really, it will look like a fake trapunto. So if you haven't heard about the trapunto, it's about adding extra kind of oomph, extra layer where you would have certain shapes. So when you quilt your quilt, they kind of stick out. They make the bumps and it looks kind of 3D. So I thought, you know, how about I'll try that. So first of all, I want to obviously kind of design some sort of shape using those scraps. So I've got quite a lot of those circles, so I can use any color, maybe one more leaf. I think if I go with something like that, it should work. So let me get it to the machine and I will show you how I'm planning to attach it to that square, maybe bigger on this one, and how it will look when it's finished. Okay, so I think I will pin it just so they don't move around when I'm working on one shape at a time. You could use a glue stick as well if you want to slightly glue it to the background. It's just something to hold it in place. Okay, so that should be alright. And I will start on any shape in the middle, and I will use a zigzag. My zigzag width is set up to 3 and distance 1.5, and I think that should be enough. I've got open toe foot on my machine. It's just to see better how it kind of goes around, and I just go all around with zigzag, and I like to make sure that my pieces will not move. They will never move, so I will go with the zigzag twice around. So I went around twice with the zigzag, and I will do the same for the other shapes to hold it in place. And then I think I would like to add something in the middle as well. So let me quickly go around with the other shapes, and then I will show what I will do next. Okay, I've done all the edges on all of my shapes, and I think I would like to add a little bit of quilting still to the top of it, just slightly. So on the leaf, maybe I will just trace the shape of the leaf in the middle. Now for that piece of the process, if you've got quilting foot, the one you use with the drop down feed dogs for free motion quilting, that's probably what you want to do. Now I won't be changing my foot because I've got a few more blocks to do, and I would like to finish them in one go. I will just use normal sewing, but I'm changing my stitch to straight. Now what I just wanted to notice here, that because that edge was pinking sheared, so it's obviously ragged, not even, doing that stitch all around with the zigzag was very easy, because you don't have to be precise at all how you're stitching it. As far as you are within the fabric, you're good. You won't see any unevenness of your stitch because of that ragged edge there already. So quite nice and stress-free. So I will just go around, and just like I said, I will trace the shape of my leaves. It's not necessary step, it depends how you like kind of finish off your motifs, but I think it will fit nicely, and obviously you will keep that piece better on the fabric as well. Just some random shapes here, more or less. Here maybe I will go 3 times. Again, you could go a spiral as well. It really up to you what you've got in your head as a design there. Now to finish, I will go back to that section where I've got zigzag, go back to zigzag, and then zigzag a little bit more the edge, back stitch here, and I can stop and cut the thread. Now I will use the very important tool in my sewing to finish it off, which is my lint roller. There's gonna be quite a lot of dust from those, obviously, because they are going to leave a little bit of threads behind, but just use the roller to clean it off. And obviously, I don't know how about you, but I always wash my quilts before I give them to anyone, so it would have been cleaned up anyway when it's finished. So any kind of sticking out bigger bits and pieces, I'll just snip it off, tidy up this block, and it's gonna be ready to add to the rest of the quilt. I really like that effect. So it is a fake trapunto, obviously, because normally in trapunto that extra batting to lift the fabric up would have been under the background fabric, and then you would have a shape on top, or it would have been a pieced quilt where you would put extra batting in some places. But I like this effect the way it is now. It's something, you know, you can use when you have a lot of blank space and you don't like it, you want to add something extra. I will make few of those blocks because I've got few on my quilt, and I will show you how they look, just those blocks together and within the quilt. Before I show you my finished project, just a quick reminder where you can find me and how you can support my work. You can subscribe to my website to be notified when new tutorials, products or patterns are released. You can find me on my Facebook page, Pola Photo, or you can join my group page, Pola Quilting with Friends, where we all share work made inspired by my tutorials and answer any questions you may have. There is Instagram account called Pola Quilting, and if you like to share something you made based on my tutorials, please tag me using hashtag Pola Quilting with Friends. To support my work, please like, comment and share when you see my posts or tutorials. Let your quilting friends know about this channel and invite them to the group and subscribe to my channel. If you like to contribute extra, you can use super thanks on YouTube or buying me virtual tea, coffee or lunch available on my page. All links are in the description below. I would like to thank you all for all the support so far and letting me grow in what I do. Here are my blocks put together. I like how organic they look and all of those ragged edges and shapes. I like that extra 3D look, so I kind of see that fake trapunto came out rather successfully. Here are the blocks put together with the design I showed you in last week's tutorial. I didn't do it on all plain squares, as I still wanted to leave some of those negative plain spaces to balance the look. And I thought it will be quite busy, but actually I really like how it came together, so what you see is how I'm gonna put that quilt together at the end. I make many quilted items, and I've got quite a lot of those cut-offs already quilted, and now at least I've got a way of using those scraps up. Some of those are too small to make into a bag or pouch, so that's a great alternative. Even if you don't have a piece of quilt you can cut into shapes, you can make your own mini sampler from some scraps or maybe some blocks you've got already, and maybe you don't like them that much. So you can, you know, lightly quilt it, cut out some shapes and make it into something totally different. It will not only add interesting detail to the blocks, but you can make a great border out of those, or decoration on a bag or a pouch and so on. Happy sewing! Thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and see you next time.